Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Chat, my weekly vlog series posted every Monday at lunchtime if you're in the UK. And it's still bloody freezing, so that's why I'm wearing my hoodie still, which apparently Stormkiller has the exact same one of. That's not creepy at all. You probably had it first though, to be honest, I got it in a sale. But anyway, what we're going to do today, well, I have questions and comments from last week's Let's Chat sitting in front of me. I also just got messaged on Steam by Reaper. What are you doing? It's my own fault really for not being on busy. So is Darkest Dungeon going to be a full playthrough or just filler? It's too early in development for it to be a full playthrough. I don't actually think the full game is available. I know for a fact not all the classes are available. I'm just going to say recording, let's chat, stop spamming me please. Smiley face. There. Done. But yeah, he's asking because I wasn't expecting to do a series in Darkest Dungeon, but it kind of came out of nowhere and I really like it. So I'm doing it even though it's not a full game. It's very early in development. This is the first time anyone's got a chance to play it, I think. Do I hear beeping in the background? Nope. Anyway, so it is a series. It's definitely not going to be a win, but I'm going to play it until it either gets too repetitive or until I just wipe myself out multiple times and then wait until it's developed. Kind of like the same way I'm approaching Hand of Fate. It's fine, but it's still in beta, so I'd rather wait until it was feature complete. But that's just me. Also, because he got to messaging me, I forgot to say that other than the questions and comments, I'm also going to show off a couple of games from my retro box in the corner over there. And that's about it. Don't have anything else to say. Oh, he just got back to me. I kept the window up though, so the noise didn't happen that time. There we are. But I'm going to click away from it now and I bet he says something else. Anyway, what else did I want to talk about? This is going to be out on Monday the 9th, recording it well in advance again. So this Friday, Monster Hunter 4 is out, and I wasn't able to secure a review copy sadly, which I'm very disappointed about. I tried very hard to get my hands on one and I just couldn't. So my plan is, I'll get the game on Friday the same as everybody else, most likely. Maybe on Thursday if I'm lucky, probably not. I'll probably get the first couple parts out, like character creation plus the intro tutorial, and then the first hunt out that day. On Saturday, maybe get a few more parts out, 2 or 3, depending on how short they are, because as I say, hunts in Monster Hunter 4 are a bit shorter. And then on the Saturday, the Steam night will be Monster Hunter 4 themed, so we'll be jumping straight into online. I probably won't have a lot done by then in terms of single player stuff, so if you're planning on joining in, don't get too far ahead if possible. Don't like grind out 50 hours. Is that even, pardon me, is that even possible? No, it would be 48 at max. Just don't try and get super far ahead, because for a start you won't show me anything I've never seen, because you definitely won't make it to high rank in the hours you have, even if you literally played every second. But I'm saying don't rush, thinking that I'm going to be well ahead. I don't have a review copy, I'm not going to be well ahead. I obviously have other things I'm still recording. I'm trying to get an Isaac backlog and the Darkest Dungeon backlog done, but I've not been doing that much recording because, as you can probably hear, I'm still a little bit stuffed up, and yes, Reaper did at some point message me back. I need my 15 minutes of fame! Smiley face. Smiley face doesn't make it okay to say. Smiley face. So let's do the questions and comments first, and then I will do the show and tell. And that'll finish things off. By the way, you might notice a strategically placed plate there on my bed. That's on purpose. I've left a trap for Maya. She's downstairs right now, but if she comes upstairs, she'll probably see that, and she often tries to jump on my bed and thinking I'm not looking because I'm staring at the monitor, and she'll try and creep round slowly and then lick the plate. She always does it, so I've left that there deliberately to try and trap her. We'll see if it works or not. But anyway, back to the comments. Starting with Dragonakis. Saying blue facial hair. How's my facial hair today? A little bit. And then Juggling Ninja. And then Grinning Out said Juggalo Ninja. And then Dragonakis said if only. I still haven't cleared out the there yet, because I haven't been arsed. I think that's where the thing I was talking about a couple of weeks ago will be. Just need to find it. X Eben YX42 says, damn, your hair seems fake. Yes, I am very clearly the Donald Trump of YouTube and wear a wig. It was actually just that I was long overdue for a haircut, and I probably hadn't washed it because I was washing it after the haircut. I've now done both those things, so hopefully it does not look fake. It's real hair. See? It's real hair. I'm not wearing a wig. I wouldn't mind shaving my head, although then you would see how weirdly shaped it is. Dragonakis said, always interesting, to see how third-party devs can implement multiplayer better than Nintendo. Screw friend codes, possibly the worst implementation of online functionality. Well, what is worse actually is, up until recently, in fact I'm not even entirely sure they fixed this, where if you have a Wii or a Wii U and it gets nicked or broken or whatever, and you buy a new one, you can't get any of your purchases off that old one. I think they might give you credit now, but only if you complain. They're archaic, they don't understand modern technology, which is sad really, but they don't. They're very slowly discovering the internet. They very recently understood what DLC is. They're starting to understand what YouTube is in a hilariously bad way, with their attempting to become a multi-channel network and offering incredibly unfair rates to content creators. The worst part is, actually, I wasn't going to talk about this because I hate always whinging about how terrible Nintendo are, although they are. You have two options if you want to do Nintendo content, and by Nintendo content they mean first party games, so they don't mean stuff on Nintendo consoles, they mean stuff they've made, so the Marios, the Zeldas, and that's basically it. So you can either just say, I'll have my channel under you, so in other words they're your multi-channel network, and for that they want, I think it was 30% or 40%, 30% is around about industry standard for the bigger people, but that's after Google has taken 45%, so keep that in mind. Also, if you go that route, every video you upload that applies to, whether it's Nintendo or not. So they are just your multi-channel network. They're taking money from everything you do rather than just the Nintendo stuff. The other option is to do it on a video by video basis, where you have to put in a Microsoft software similar type way. You put a blurb in saying that you're not associated with Nintendo, etc. If you do that, you're agreeing to every single one of their terms, so you should not do that in my opinion. And they take 10% more than if you were with a network and it's for that video. Now, Nintendo must be thinking, this is fantastic, we're going to get so much money. Let me tell you how it really works, Nintendo. You get pennies per video. Pennies. Cents, I guess. Let's go with the American way. And most of the people who do this for a living, i.e. people like me, or people who are much larger than me, they will never do your games. They have never and will never cover Nintendo games. And they won't, especially when you want 40% of the 55% we're left with after Google picks clean the advertising revenue. That's why my phone's ringing. I'll ignore it. I'm in the middle of a rant here. That is why content creators look for other ways to make money via Patreon, via Twitch donations, Twitch subscriptions, etc., etc. Because Google takes the lion's share. Well, not technically. They take most of the advertising money, and advertising money has been getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So Nintendo think they've found this fantastic way to compromise and still earn money. They're now just taking 3/4 of the cake rather than all of it. But they're not going to make any money. No, they're not. Kids and folk who don't care about monetization, who don't do this for a living and make a video every week or whatever, they might agree and do the little blurb and, monetize via Nintendo for a Nintendo game. Do you think that video is going to get enough hits? I mean, to make even a full $1, you've got to get at least, say, well, I don't want to actually say CPM is different on networks. That's actually another thing. If Nintendo becomes your network, presumably they're not going to find their own ads, because that is one of the few things that multi-channel networks actually still do. If you're in their system, they issue the ads, not Google, so therefore you could potentially have a better CPM with a network if they've got better clients. Nintendo isn't going to do that because they don't understand how the internet works. So you'll still just be getting the standard Google ads, you're just getting them at a smaller rate. You'll be earning less because they're taking money as well. They are incredibly stupid, and it is a horrible, horrible thing they have done. The alternative, obviously, is just not cover Nintendo games, and that's my getting angry. That's still the preferable option. Don't cover Nintendo games. It's not worth it. Just don't. Continue ignoring them. They're not worth it. Maybe down the line they'll learn. The reason is, I don't necessarily think it's Nintendo of America / Europe, even though that Reggie guy is a pillock. It's probably Japan. Why Japan? Well, in Japan, YouTube isn't a big thing. It's a thing, but it's not a big thing. They have their own version called Nico Nico Video. And if you compare, like I actually spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember if it was on a Let's Chat or maybe just in a video or on Twitter, but Nintendo, prior to doing this YouTube thing, issued a statement regarding kind of Let's Plays and transformative works on Nico Nico Video. And do you know what their terms for Nico Nico Video was? It's okay. That's their terms. It was just, okay, you can do covers of our music, you can do kind of playthroughs and whatnot, it's fine, as long as you state you're not affiliated with us. That was it. They didn't ask for a single goddamn penny. Now look at that compared to the YouTube thing they're trying to do, and tell me how that makes any goddamn sense. Nintendo are morons, and they will continue to be so, and you will not see professional YouTubers giving in to their crappy terms and starting to cover their games. They don't understand how we work. Maybe they will eventually. They're like a couple of years behind everybody else, so maybe that will change down the line. The reaction to these current terms are, basically the professional YouTubers are just pointing and laughing. The kids who just play Nintendo games and can now do it without getting their videos, copyright struck, etc. They'll be happy, I guess. It won't earn Nintendo any money though, and that's the funniest thing. They think they're going to earn a lot of money from doing this. They are not. They're going to earn cents at best. I went off on a very big tangent there. Anyway, Mr. Stacey Jackson said, I remember ICQ. I changed every key press to a Street Fighter sound effect. It was epic when you typed fast. That sounds amazing. You can just do combos when you type a really long sentence. I want to do that. Paul Bonner says fruit roll-ups. That's in relation to one of the Japanese candies I showed off. Oh, by the way, the February box is on the way, and it's Valentine's Day themed. I think it's really funny that Monster Hunter 4 is coming out on Valentine's Day, and also that it's Friday the 13th, actually. It's just like, how many relationships does Capcom want to ruin in the one day? It's very funny, I find. Unless you're a couple that both like Monster Hunter, I suppose. So yeah, fruit roll-ups I think is the American name for the spiral on the paper of flavoured jelly or gummy, whatever. I still can't remember the name of the brand in the UK, but it's not that. I could describe the box as well. It's a blue box. Big blue box, and you find it now with all the other kind of fruit related sweets, but I can't remember the name. David Brown says, Flik, have you watched much Gundam? I am doing this on a tablet, so I have to fight the damn autocorrect. I have watched the entirety of Gundam Wing, but that is it. Oh, and also the Endless Waltz movie. And that's why on, well, top shelf up there, that's Transformers, that's Gundams. That half is Gundams, all from Gundam Wing. I can't remember any of their names, but that's them. I might show them off, although that top shelf is really, really dusty, so I don't want to show off how badly taken care of they are. Every year or something, I'll take them all down and clean them. I don't know why this room is so dusty. It's probably just because it's an old house, I guess. Spherical Cube. Welcome to Juggling Flik's Magical Circus featuring Maya. That's not how you spell Maya. It's M-Y-A. The as of yet invisible wonder dog. That's not true. You saw her nose like poking up there last time. Looked up the Bloodborne Nightmare Edition and I found it rather uninspiring as well. By the way, I think the first half hour of that game is now on IGN and stuff. I haven't watched it. I've been told about it. I don't want to know about it. Keep it to yourself, please. I want to experience it firsthand. As for the gap in your content, Darkest Dungeon looks good. And I will be checking out Hand of Fate as well. Yeah, Darkest Dungeon came out of nowhere. I got told about it by Grinning Owl, I think. And I applied to what they called the Week of Torment, which is like Kickstarter backers and press get to play it for a week before release, and then there's like a competition going where you can submit videos. I did. I put my Let's Look At in. If I win, I get some codes to give away to viewers. So that's the only reason I did it. I wasn't expecting it to like it so much as I did. Does that make sense what I just said? I think I messed that sentence up, but either way, I wasn't expecting it to be so good. I love the art style, the narrator is fantastic. It's really brutal though, and it is definitely a work in progress. It needs balancing. I was doing a lot of reading on the official forums, like seeing other people's reactions. I'm going to talk about this more when I record more of the game, so I don't want to go into it now, but yeah, I agree with a lot of things people are basically saying, and I'm hoping that the developers are willing to listen, because it's always hard to hear criticism about your baby. So it's the difference between a good developer and a bad one, how willing they are to not necessarily, bend over and say, yes, I'll do everything you say, gamers who play this, but understanding where the gamers are right and where you're wrong. So hopefully they'll do well in that regard, because there is stuff that needs changing. There's some things that just don't make sense, and one of the statements to make on their website is that they want the game to be hard but not frustrating to the point where you don't want to play it. So they have to try very hard to get in that sweet spot, in my opinion, where some people would argue Dark Souls was, or Dark Souls 2, or Demon Souls. Anyway, moving on. I just had to laugh when I saw you juggling. Oh, sorry, this is Nanosphere05, I forgot to say who it was. I just had to laugh when I saw you juggling. It was quite unexpected and probably the most direct way attention grabbing. Yeah, this time I didn't do anything fancy. Juggling is the only skill I have. You must be very coordinated. Somebody ate them, huh? This is in relation to a Japanese candy. The human that voices your videos that you control, perhaps you, sly ghost. I think this should be Flik's food. You spelled my name wrong. Food blog now. It probably will be, every time I get Japanese candy I want to show it off, because that's the whole reason I do it. I mean, if I wanted sweets I could just buy them at a shop here, but I like seeing weird stuff of candy from other countries, and the Japanese candy is usually so very different to what we get in the UK and the US. I think that's kind of why I like it, even though I also pick up some in like the international food aisles of supermarkets here. Anyway, or your monthly food vlog. Ah yes, the 56k modem, cruel and unusual punishment that is in modern times. Yeah, some people still have 56k, which is terrifying. DRC97 says Black Lagoon is pretty good, rather gory in places, but that's to be expected when there's a crazy person with semi-auto pistols. Okay, it sounds good. I don't mind gory. I've read Attack on Titan. If you had the chance of becoming either an overpowered Shinigami like Ichigo, the Pirate King, who I assume is One Piece, I haven't read One Piece, the Hokage or Goku, which would you choose? Please watch 50% off, I think you may like it. What is 50% off? Is that a thing? I don't understand the last thing you said. Could you expand on that, please? I don't want to be a powerful Shinigami like Ichigo, because then you're just a Mary Sue and terribly written and have no personality. Tell me Ichigo's personality. Tell me what it is right now. He doesn't have one. You could say he's a hero. Alright. That's it. He has no depth at all. In a way, he's almost worse than Eren. It is Eren, right? The Attack on Titan guy, who's just a whingy bitch. Ichigo isn't even that. He's just nothing. He's thin air that you fill with plot convenient power when you need a villain defeated. That's it. He's nothing. That's why I hate him. I hate him now anyway. He had a bit of personality at the start, but now he doesn't. He's just there to be. He's just there to stare into middle distance intimidatingly. That's all he does now. The Pirate King I can't comment on. Hokage, at least you can associate. I assume you mean Naruto in this sense, as in him aspiring to be the Hokage. He has a personality. Also, Goku has a personality. He is kind-hearted. He's amiable. He is also obsessed with fighting, and he likes to get by on his own strengths. And he just happens to also have the strength of a god. But you know, that's the nature of Shonen Jump, I guess. I would pick Goku. I actually think of all those you listed, he has the best personality. I think he's a good character because he has depth. I like that he's so humble and gentle and yet also so powerful. So yeah, I would pick him. And I don't want to get into any Superman versus Goku arguments because that's just stupid. Anyway, Big Nick 07, all the numbers. Why should I buy Bloodborne? I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I never played Demon Souls or Dark Souls, but no joke, I only bought Dark Souls 2 because of you and I loved it. Well, that's good. But I see the gameplay for Bloodborne and it doesn't get me excited. Still loving the face cam, by the way. Thank you. Also, I heard my voice crack there. If what you've seen of the gameplay so far isn't doing anything for you, I would say don't bother. I haven't seen very much. I saw some footage from E3 and that's about it. I don't want to watch the intro or anything like that. I am going to play it for sure because it gives me something to do with my PS4. So I'm going to be playing it, but you know, I can't tell you why you should buy it. I would say wait. Don't pre-order games, especially if you're not sure about them. Wait, read reviews, watch like the first hour of it if you want, and then decide. So yeah, I'm not going to convince you. After I play it, if I like it, then by all means I'll try, but not right now. Right, we're on to like the last 6 questions or so, but let's take a break here to do the show and tell portion. So the first game I want to show off today, we've actually got a bit of a theme, and this is in relation to me playing through the Resident Evil HD remake of the remake that was on GameCube that recently came to consoles and PC. I've been enjoying the PC version. I'm thinking of doing that for patrons after Scribblenauts Unlimited is finished. But anyway, from the creators of the Resident Evil series, we have Dino Crisis, essentially Resident Evil with dinosaurs instead. The main character even looks like Jill, but with red hair. Can I get that in focus? And maybe skimpier wear, and the big monster obviously in the game was in that top screenshot there. It might not zoom in. It's a T-Rex. If you never played Dino Crisis, it was actually good. I liked Dino Crisis. The sequel was god awful from what I remember, but the original game, I quite liked it. Also, yeah, you'll notice that I wrecked the old PS1 cases. Really, really flimsy plastic that just, if you dropped it at all, it just did. How did I reach there? It just cracks like nobody's business. Where does it say? The official strategy guide also available. To order, this is actually quite funny. To order, you have to phone a number because the internet didn't really exist when this came out in. Is there a date on this? I can't see a date. Oh, well, 1999 Capcom. Yeah, so this is from 1999. There's the shiny discs. It got rated as a 15. it didn't have much gore in it from what I remember. Certainly, probably not compared to Resident Evil. But oh well. And there's a quick look at the instruction manual. I missed instruction manuals that weren't a single bit of paper saying, here's the URL to put in to get the instruction manual. But anyway, yeah, I think that's on PSN. It probably is. It's alright, obviously very dated, but it's okay. The other thing I wanted to show off, again, a bit more closer to the theme, Resident Evil Code Veronica. My Dreamcast version. I believe NTSC, right? Yep, it's American. And there's the back. Code Veronica was very, very good. I think it got re-released after the Dreamcast failed, right? It went onto consoles or something, or maybe it was remade on the GameCube, but either way, it was good. I enjoyed it a whole lot. It had a good story. It was probably the one I most enjoyed after Resident Evil 2. And Resident Evil 2 is still one of the best, which is a shame it was never remade. Let's see, does this have a release date? 2 discs. Yes, this was the year 2000. So 15 years ago. There's the back of the box and one of the discs. The game where it starred Claire Redfield, and then you also get to play as Chris in the second half. Spoilers, kind of. Yeah, I really liked Code Veronica as well. That was the first one that really had Wesker doing like Matrix bullshit as well. So I guess that's kind of... Oh yeah, in fact there is a Matrix bullshit bit in it. I can't remember the guy's name, but the whiny guy that's in Claire's half of the story, he does Matrixy stuff in it. But that's because it was out... Well, the Matrix was what, 99, so this will be the year after that. So yeah, that was when all the games started copying that thing as well, just like films did, bullet time and whatnot. So it's in there as well. But yeah, Code Veronica was really good, better than Dino Crisis. So if you only can play one, I would say play Code Veronica. And that's all I had to show off. There's plenty more games in the pile, but I don't want to show too many each week, because otherwise we'll run out real quick. And then what will I talk about? Who knows? So let's go back to the last few questions. We last did Big Nick, so now we're on to Cooner K. The good old days of ICQ. Used to love the oh, that's the noise, yeah, when you got a message. It was or I can't remember which. I guess instant messaging on PC is now dead. I know, I still use... Well, you go and say Skype, but you mean what, people just use calls? No, I use Skype as a chat program every day. I don't like talking because I talk for a living, so if I also talked in the evenings every night, I'd wreck my voice more. Maybe it shifted to mobile apps like WhatsApp, don't know. Question of the week. Biggest game to come in 2015, in your opinion, other than Monster Hunter? Other than Monster Hunter, I would say I'm probably most looking forward to The Witcher 3, because they would have to screw up real bad for that game to be bad. I'm interested to see how the story that they've been filtering through all the other ones goes, with Yennefer and the Wild Hunt. So yeah, I think The Witcher 3 is probably what I'm looking forward to the most. I'm looking forward to putting Odessa through her paces as well with it, in terms of visuals. Other than that, I'm looking forward to Bloodborne. I want it to be good. Put it that way. Other games I can't think of other than Monster Hunter right now. I try not to look too far ahead because otherwise I get distracted by what's in the moment. Like I'm so hyped for Monster Hunter 4 right now, it's interrupting me playing other stuff that I need to cover. But anyway, Grinning says Hellsing is also quite gory. It's an interesting spin on Hellsing and Dracula. Or edition, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know either. Someone else would need to help you there. You can find the entire series on YouTube in high quality. I don't think that sounds perfectly legal. Speaking of gore, the Bloodborne hype is real on my end. Hopefully the PC port is better. Wait, is there a PC port of Bloodborne? I thought it was PS4 only, because it's Sony funding it. Well, if it's on PC as well, that's good, but I thought it wasn't. Despite how the games are set up, I still prefer mouse and keyboard controls. Oh, no. Oh, for third-person action games, I usually prefer controllers. And Paradin points out that not all Diablo seeds are female. Well, that's fairly obvious, isn't it? Because otherwise they would go extinct. Black ones are apparently all female, because they're in heat and mad. Kintic says, thanks for the 20% off code. Just used it to get the newish Thief game. Alright, the one that came out last year then. For $6 apparently. So I saved them a little bit extra. It was already massively reduced. I see. No, I said to him, thanks at the time. The voucher is still active until the 27th of February. So if you are also interested, you can go to greenmangaming.com, I believe, and use the code that will be in the description box of this video to get 20% off an order. It's not a pre-order, if you want. And feel free to spread it around, by the way. If you have a friend who's going to buy something, save them money. They don't need to know who I am or watch my videos. I don't care. Just, save them some money if you like. So feel free to spread it around social media or whatever the hell you like. They don't need to be associated with me. I still do technically benefit, so that's totally fine. And by the way, on that subject as well, Green Man Gaming has provided me with Dying Light, which I am currently playing. I was playing it for about an hour last night. I was playing it for about an hour before recording this. I still don't want to give, overall impressions. I'll do a let's look at of it, obviously, and maybe some more stuff. I'm not sure. I'm going to be trying out the co-op as well before I do any final. Did I say final? I did. Final thoughts. Initial impressions, though, I like it. I would say that if you're going into it with the Dead Island mindset of just, murdering your way through hordes of zombies with satisfying melee combat, you might be a bit disappointed, because I think the focus is actually on evasion and parkour rather than smacking stuff up the head. But I could be wrong. I'm still early in the game. I've done like 2 main missions and then got distracted by side stuff. So too early to say, but I will have a video out on that at some point soon. I just want to play a bit more of it first. Brandon Deagle says, I've heard of Black Lagoon and he heard Black Lagoon being mentioned in the comments and I immediately wanted to rewatch it. Good anime, by the way. Glad to hear it. And then finally, 9 hours ago, Matsumuni said, darn, I missed the questions cut off from last week. In that case, what's the craziest thing you've ever juggled? A few houses. No, I don't know. I've tried juggling different types of fruit, apples, oranges, that kind of stuff. I think I tried juggling strawberries once and that didn't end well. That's about it. So with that, I think we're about ready to finish up here. As always, thank you very much for listening. Please do feel free to leave any comments or questions in the description box below. And once again, if you want to save some people money on Green Man Gaming, there's a voucher code at the top of the description box as well. Next time I'll show off some more games. It'll probably be too early to show off Japanese candy, but we'll be talking a lot about Monster Hunter 4, and I'm looking forward to that a whole lot. See you next week. Ta-ta for now.